What if 5 simple words could completely rewrite the story of your life? What if your morning could become a powerful weapon of transformation? Every single morning, you wake up with a choice most people don't even realize they're making. A choice that determines whether you'll drift through another day or become the architect of your own destiny. Most people start their day on autopilot. They roll out of bed, check their phone, scroll through negative news, and let random thoughts contaminate their mental landscape. By the time they're fully awake, they've already defeated themselves. Think about your typical morning. How many negative thoughts have you already entertained? How many times have you told yourself what you can't do, what might go wrong, or why you're not good enough? These aren't just random thoughts. They're silent assassins of your potential. The 5 power words? Here's the game changer. 5 words, 5 strategically chosen words that you'll speak to yourself every single morning. These aren't just affirmations. They're cognitive reprogramming tools. Power word 1, I, the catalyst of personal transformation. Imagine standing at the edge of a vast canyon of potential with nothing but a single word as your bridge. That word is I. It's not just a pronoun. It's the most powerful linguistic weapon in your arsenal of personal development. Most people move through life like ghosts, transparent, passive, acted upon rather than acting. They wake up to external circumstances, surrender to predetermined narratives, and allow the world to write their story. But the moment you truly understand the power of I, everything changes. I is a declaration of existence, not just biological existence, but existential ownership. When you say I, you're stepping into the arena of personal responsibility. You're claiming your space in the universe. You're announcing that you are not a victim of circumstance, but the primary architect of your own reality. Consider the typical mental dialogue most people have. Life is hard. The economy is tough. I can't because. These are statements of surrender. They're psychological white flags raised before the battle even begins. But when you lead with I, you transform from a passive observer to an active creator. I am responsible. These 3 words are a nuclear bomb of personal empowerment. They obliterate every excuse, every limitation, every external barrier. When you accept total responsibility, you simultaneously accept total power. Most people run from responsibility. They see it as a burden, but true champions see it as the ultimate freedom. Think about the most successful people you admire, entrepreneurs, athletes, artists. What separates them isn't talent or luck. It's their unwavering commitment to I. I will figure this out. I will create this. I will overcome this. These aren't just words. They're declarations of war against mediocrity. Your mind is constantly listening to your internal dialogue. Every time you start a sentence with I, you're programming your subconscious. I can't becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. I will becomes an unstoppable force of nature. Imagine waking up and the first thought in your mind is pure potential. Not I'm tired, or I can't, or I wish, but I. A blank canvas waiting for your masterpiece. I, an uncharted territory ready for exploration. I, the starting point of every transformation that has ever occurred in human history. Most people live small lives because they've forgotten the magic of I. They've allowed external voices to define their internal narrative, society, family, past failures. But you have the power to rewrite that script. Every single moment. Power word 2, choose the ultimate human superpower. Choice is not something that happens to you. Choice is a weapon you wield with precision and intention. It's the fundamental difference between those who drift through life and those who navigate it with purpose. Most people believe they're trapped by circumstances, trapped by their past, trapped by perceived limitations. But here's the revolutionary truth. You are choosing every single moment, even when you think you're not choosing. When you say, "I choose," you're declaring war on victimhood. You're rejecting the narrative of powerlessness. You're saying, "I'm not a leaf blown by the wind. I'm the wind itself." Every moment is a crossroads. Every breath is a decision. Choosing your attitude, choosing your response, choosing your focus. Most people sleepwalk through these moments, believing they have no control. But champions understand that life doesn't happen to you, life responds to you. Think about the most transformative moments in human history. They weren't accidents, they were choices. Someone choosing to believe something different, someone choosing to act differently, someone choosing to challenge the existing narrative. Your choices are the paintbrush and your life is the canvas. Most people allow others to choose their colors, to define their strokes, but you can choose the entire composition. You can choose to create a masterpiece. Choose is not about perfection. It's about movement. It's about momentum. Every choice, no matter how small, is a vote for the type of person you're becoming. Choose courage over comfort. Choose growth over stagnation. The beautiful paradox of choice is that by choosing, you become more free, not less. Each deliberate choice strips away the illusion of limitation. Each intentional decision builds your muscle of personal power. Imagine approaching every single day not as something that happens to you, but as a series of conscious choices. What would change? Everything. Power word 3, growth. The commitment to continuous evolution. Imagine your life as a living, breathing organism, not a static photograph, but a dynamic ecosystem constantly in motion. That's what growth truly represents, a relentless commitment to evolution, a sacred promise that you will not become a prisoner of your past or a hostage to your current circumstances. Most human beings are masters of self-deception. They create elaborate illusions of comfort, building invisible walls around themselves that they mistake for protection. These walls are actually tombs, silent, suffocating spaces where potential goes to die. Comfort is the most sophisticated form of self-sabotage ever invented by the human mind. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. Growth happens in the uncomfortable spaces, those moments when your heart races, when your palms sweat, when everything inside you screams to retreat. Those are the moments that determine who you will become. Every challenge is an invitation. Every obstacle is a growth opportunity disguised as a problem. Think about the most remarkable transformations in nature. A caterpillar doesn't become a butterfly by staying in its cocoon. It transforms through struggle, through a process that looks like destruction, but is actually creation. Your personal growth works exactly the same way. Every single day, you're making a fundamental choice. You're either expanding or contracting, growing or dying. There's no neutral ground in human potential. If you're not intentionally moving forward, you're unconsciously moving backward. Stagnation is a slow form of death. When you embrace growth as a core principle, you're declaring war on mediocrity. You're saying that your current version is just a draft, not the final publication. You're announcing to the universe that you are a work in progress, always under construction. Successful people don't just accept change, they hunt for it. They create environments that force growth. They understand that comfort is the enemy of excellence. They deliberately put themselves in situations that stretch their capabilities, that challenge their existing beliefs. Imagine approaching every single experience as a learning opportunity. A conversation becomes a chance to understand a new perspective. A failure becomes a data point for future success. A challenge becomes a training ground for resilience. Growth is not about perfection, it's about progression. It's about being slightly better today than you were yesterday. 1% improvement might seem insignificant, but compound that over years and you become unrecognizable to your past self. Power word 4, discipline, the bridge between dreams and reality, discipline is not a punishment. Discipline is the highest form of self-love. It's the deliberate, consistent alignment of your actions with your deepest aspiration. Most people misunderstand discipline. They see it as restriction, as some form of punishment. But discipline is actually freedom. It's the pathway that transforms your wildest dreams from fantasy into reality. Discipline is the difference between watching life happen. Consider the most extraordinary achievers in human history. Athletes who break world records, entrepreneurs who revolutionize industries, artists who create timeless masterpieces. What separates them isn't raw talent. It's discipline, the ability to do what needs to be done consistently, even when every fiber of your being wants to quit. Discipline is a muscle, and like any muscle, it grows stronger with consistent exercise. The first time you push through resistance, it feels impossible. The 100th time, it feels like breathing. You're not fighting yourself anymore. You've become the person who simply does what needs to be done. Think of discipline as a personal integrity contract with yourself. It's you promising your future self that your goals are more important than your temporary feelings. When you're tired, discipline shows up. When you're scared, discipline shows up. When the world says it's impossible, discipline whispers, "Watch me." Most people live reactive lives. They're controlled by emotions, by circumstances, by external validation. Disciplined people live proactively. They design their day, they create their reality, they understand that feelings are temporary, but habits are permanent. Your morning ritual is where discipline is born. It's not about perfection, it's about consistency. It's about showing up for yourself even when no one is watching, especially when no one is watching. Discipline transforms potential into performance. It bridges the gap between who you are and who you're capable of becoming. It's the silent force that turns dreams into plans and plans into reality. Power word 5, now, the moment of transformation. Imagine your life as a ticking time bomb of potential. Every second that passes is a moment either invested or wasted. Now is not just a word. It's a declaration of war against procrastination, a sledgehammer that breaks through the walls of hesitation and doubt. Most people live in a perpetual state of postponement. They're time travelers trapped between a regretful past and an imaginary future, never fully experiencing the only moment that truly exists right now. Procrastination is the most sophisticated form of self-destruction humanity has ever invented. When you say now, you're doing something revolutionary. You're rejecting the illusion of perfect timing. You're refusing to let fear, uncertainty, or some mythical someday steal your dreams. The graveyard is filled with potential that was never unleashed, with dreams that were never started, with ideas that were perpetually waiting for the perfect moment. Think about the most transformative moments in human history. They weren't carefully planned. They weren't the result of endless preparation. They happened because someone decided to act right now. Innovation doesn't wait. Opportunity doesn't schedule appointments. Life rewards those who show up in the moment. Procrastination is a complex psychological trap. It's not about laziness. It's about fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of not being perfect. But here's the brutal truth. Perfection is the enemy of progress. The most successful people understand that done is better than perfect. Started is better than planned. Every time you say now, you're choosing action over analysis, movement over paralysis, creation over contemplation. Now is the bridge between intention and reality. It's the magical moment where potential transforms into performance. Close your eyes and imagine your life 5 years from now if you keep waiting. Now open your eyes and realize that the only moment you truly have is this exact second. Not tomorrow, not when you feel more prepared, not when everything is perfectly aligned, but right now. The world doesn't reward those who are ready. The world rewards those who are willing. Willing to start messy, willing to learn as they go, willing to fail and get back up. Now is about embracing imperfection. It's about understanding that momentum beats perfection every single time. Your dreams don't have an expiration date, but your time does. Every single moment you spend waiting is a moment stolen from your potential. Now destroys the waiting game. It eliminates the fantasy of someday. It forces you to confront the most important question. If not now, then when? Successful people don't wait for permission. They don't wait to feel ready. They understand that readiness is a myth invented by fear. They take action now, learn now, grow now. They turn their life into a continuous experiment of possibility. Now is not just a word, it's a weapon, a mindset, a commitment to living fully in each moment. It's about understanding that life happens not in the grand gestures, but in the small, immediate choices you make right now. Your power exists in this moment, not in your memories, not in your future plans, but right here, right now. The most powerful revolution happens in an instant, the instant you decide to start. Put these 5 words together and you get a powerful mantra. I choose growth through discipline now. Exploration and implementation. This isn't just about saying words, it's about feeling them, embodying them. Every single morning, stand in front of a mirror. Look yourself in the eyes. Speak these words with conviction. Your morning sets the tone for your entire day. Your first thoughts become your first actions. Your first actions become your habits. Your habits become your destiny. 5 words. That's all it takes to start rewriting your life's script.